So many AuDHD traits get mistaken for character flaws. People call us lazy, rude, awkward, or overdramatic. And when you're both ADHD and autistic, those words miss the truth. When people label you this way, it's not just an insult. It puts pressure on you to change things that are not changeable. You end up in a cycle of trying to fix yourself just to be acceptable. And no matter how hard you try, it's never enough. So today, we're talking about why AuDHD behaviors get misread as flaws and which ones get judged the most. Now, to understand why this happens, it helps to look at the lens people are using. Most of the time, these judgments come from neurotypical assumptions about what should be within someone's control. From their perspective, if you forget, interrupt, or shut down, it looks like carelessness or rudeness. In other words, they assume it's a choice, something you could have avoided if you had only tried a little harder. One common judgment is the idea that we're intentionally rude or harsh. The truth is that a lot of it comes from how our brain handles communication. We might jump into conversations too quickly, interrupt, or say something more bluntly than we meant to. ADHD brings urgency. If we don't say it now, the thought might vanish. Autism brings directness, a focus on clarity over sugarcoating. Together, that can make words land sharper or be mistimed. To other people, it can feel like we're being arrogant or cold. In reality, it's just eagerness mixed with honesty, not disrespect. So when people call us rude or insensitive, what they're usually reacting to is a different communication style. Another common judgment is that we are often seen as lazy or irresponsible. It suggests that we don't care when we're often working harder than people realize just to keep up. Forgetfulness is one reason we get labeled this way. Deadlines slip, items get lost. ADHD weakens working memory, while autism can lock focus so tightly that everything else falls away. The result is a mix of remembering obscure details while forgetting simple, important ones. To others, that looks careless or flaky, but it's actually executive dysfunction. Lateness gets read the same way. If you show up late, people assume you don't respect their time. But with ADHD, time doesn't behave predictably. What feels like a few minutes can turn into an hour. Add the struggle of switching tasks, and it's easy to get stuck. What looks like irresponsibility is really a brain that doesn't track time the same way. Then there's recovery. After work, socializing, or even just a busy day, we sometimes shut down. ADHD pushes us past our limits, while autism adds sensory and social exhaustion. With AuDHD, both hit together. So even on an average day, we can feel wiped out. That's when we need to stop. Not because we're lazy, but because our brain and body will not let us continue. Now, here's the irony. The moment we throw ourselves into something, the criticism flips. Suddenly, we're not lazy, we're too much. We're obsessive or over the top. ADHD can bring urgency and enthusiasm that can spill out fast. Autism brings depth and passion that makes us want to share our interests fully. Together, AuDHD can come across as dominating, over-explaining, or overwhelming, even when all we want is connection. What gets missed is that this isn't something we can just dial back. It's how our brain engages when we're fully present. The same traits that fuel creativity, loyalty, and deep knowledge are the ones that get labeled as too much the second they don't match someone else's comfort zone. It's not obsession or arrogance, it's engagement. It's caring enough to go all in and give our full attention to what matters most in that moment. But here's the other side. When that intensity isn't there, when we need to pause, go quiet, or conserve energy, we risk being read as distant, awkward, or unfriendly. And that can feel isolating. One of the clearest examples of this misinterpretation is eye contact. Many of us have to choose between looking someone in the eye or looking away so that we can focus on how to respond to the situation. Trying to do both splits our attention. So we look away to concentrate and it gets read as disinterest, low confidence, or even dishonesty. What's natural for us gets judged against a rule we did not write. Missing social cues is another challenge. ADHD distraction makes it easy to drift and miss when someone's tone or body language shifts. For autistic people, implied meaning doesn't always register as expected. And with AuDHD, those challenges overlap. You might zone out at the wrong time without realizing it, or miss when someone's words are hinting at something unspoken. From the outside, that looks clueless or aloof. From the inside, you often don't even realize you missed something until it's too late. Silence gets misinterpreted too. In groups, going quiet can look like disengagement. For ADHD, it's often about not trusting your impulses, holding back because you know you might say something without thinking. For autism, it can be overload or slower processing, holding back because you need more time to form the words. And when we pull back completely, the judgment gets harsher. We're labeled as cold, standoffish, shy, or unfriendly. ADHD can also leave us overstimulated, while autism often requires downtime. With AuDHD, both hit at once. What looks like distance is usually the opposite. We were so engaged, it drained us. Finally, there's a label of being too emotional. With ADHD, feelings like joy, anger, and sadness can hit fast and hard before we can slow them down. With autism, emotions run deep and take longer to fade. With AuDHD, both can happen. We have quick reactions that linger long after the moment. From the outside, it looks like exaggeration or overreacting. Inside, the feelings are real, they're just harder to regulate. When you put all this together, being called rude, lazy, obsessive, awkward, and dramatic builds a story that we're defective. But here's the truth. These aren't flaws in character. They're traits of a different kind of brain. Everyone has quirks that frustrate other people. The difference is ours get judged more harshly. So what do you do about it? Well, part of it is self-advocacy, being able to say, I process information differently, here's what helps. Or I'm not trying to be rude, I just need a little more time. And part of it is dropping the shame for things that were never flaws to begin with, because you don't need to apologize for existing. You don't need to fix traits that come from how your brain works. What you need, what we all need, is understanding accommodations in spaces where differences aren't treated like defects. If this helped you put words to your experience, please consider joining my Patreon. I host live support calls and share deeper resources for AuDHD adults. You can join for free, and you can find details down below in the description. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you next time.